I just watched a video of a Florida State student actively bleeding out, and the person filming her is casually strolling by while sipping a Starbucks coffee and recording her body. I'm not sure how we've become so apathetic and insensitive. Maybe it's because things like this happen so frequently in America, or maybe it's because cell phones have rotted our brains, but we are in need of a serious cultural realignment. For the person who took that video, I wish you nothing but the worst.
All these niggas told me they was gonna kill me. Look what happened. I love my Aunt Sandra. I love the nigga behind this camera. I love Yana. I love my nieces and nephews. All of them. I want everybody to know I love them. People named that I didn't name, trust me, I love you. I can't think right now, but I love y'all. This is my last time fuck around be seeing y'all. Last time talking to y'all, excuse my language, but I love y'all. I know I was wrong for what I did, but I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. I'll be damned if one of us get buried again. I'm tired of us getting buried and nobody doing shit about it. My mama gone, my granny gone, everybody gone that I love. So I can't go. I can't go. I'd rather y'all see me like this, locked up, than y'all see me dead in the ground. Real and I know that's really what y'all, come on now. I know y'all don't want to see me dead. Come on now. Cause kill myself, but I know that's not what y'all want me to do. So let's be for real, y'all. I love y'all. All right.
You guessed chronic fatigue syndrome, well then you're correct. Chronic fatigue syndrome is complex and characterized by profound and persistent fatigue that is not alleviated by rest and worsens with physical or mental activity. Other common symptoms of the condition include cognitive impairment, sleep disturbances, muscle and joint pain, and even headaches. Now, there is currently no cure for the condition, and treatment focuses on managing symptoms and improving the quality of life. Now, we can also use over-the-counter pain medications, antidepressants, good sleep hygiene, and complementary therapies like acupuncture and yoga, which may reduce symptoms. Now, to diagnose the disorder, healthcare providers typically perform a medical history and physical examination to rule out other conditions that cause similar symptoms. They may also order lab tests to check for abnormalities in the blood, immune function, or even hormone levels. Now, I did see some answers.
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rokayer from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you with another impromptu lesson. All right, tonight's lesson is entitled, We Live in a Manic Society. All right, and before we move any further, all right, I have that definition of manic from the etymology online, and it reads, pertaining to or affected with mania. All right, it says manic depressive, manic depression. All right, an older name for it was circular insanity. And when you go into this word mania, all right, it says mental derangement characterized by excitement and delusion, insanity, madness. All right, we live in a truly insane society. Here in America, Babylon the Great, all right, mental derangement and delusion is at an all-time high. And the scriptures prophesied at this very time that we're living in. The Lord prophesied at this very time that we're living in today, where mental derangement and insanity will be at an all-time high. And the love of many will wax cold. The Lord prophesied at these very same times, man. You know, and an exhibit of that, a showcase of that, is the videos that played before this, going into these recent mass shootings. All right? The majority of people here, especially the youth, are mentally deranged. They're fucking insane. And the majority of these people are on some sort of medication to keep their mental state as something that's copacetic, as something that they can maintain. The majority of people here in America, Babylon the Great, have been diagnosed with depression. Look up the numbers. The majority of youth from 18, I believe, up to 36 have been diagnosed with chronic depression. You have something called chronic fatigue, all right, which played in one of the videos that came before this lesson. All right, you have something called chronic fatigue that has been plaguing the youth of America, Babylon the Great. And that's a sign of the times, man. That's a sign that this kingdom is wicked. Because the scriptures say, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. This is Proverbs 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right, and the people are in a state of mourning, in a state of lamentation, all right, because the wicked are ruling. You have the so-called white man, who is the basest man on the planet Earth, mismanaging and misallocating the resources and driving the people into a state of mania. A is beautiful. It's beautiful because the Lord prophesied of these times, man. The Lord foretold of these times. All right, this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, let me get that in the NLT. See what it says. Matthew 24 and 12. Sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. And that's exactly what we're experiencing here in these latter days. All right, sin is rampant everywhere. Everywhere sin has been promoted and incentivized through the rule of Esau Edom, which has caused everybody to bug the fuck out. And now the love of many is waxing cold. You had a video that I couldn't play in this in one of those in the videos that played before the lesson of an Edomite, Shedamite, drinking Starbucks, filming one of the people that got shot at FSU bleeding to death on the ground. No care for life, no care, no sense of urgency to help, no sense of camaraderie. You know, it's essentially every man for himself out here. It's went back into the colonial days where Esau was conquering, you know, with a sword. That same spirit is returning, especially within Esau, even the so-called white man. You know, you had another video of this crash with this cement truck on the highway, you know, and the truck kind of flipped over on the side and was on fire, and nobody went to go help this, and not even the police. The police rolled up and didn't help. The police rolled up and watched the guy burn in the truck. We live in a society that is completely deranged and insane. The only sane people on this earth, all right, are those who are operating in the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. We are the only sane ones on the earth. Thus is why the scriptures say in Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, in the 6th verse, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right, the reason why brothers are stable is because the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai has been imparted in us. The rest of this world is unstable. They don't have the wisdom of the Lord. Therefore, they are unstable. And we're starting to see that instability rear its head more and more here in these latter days, with the different judgments that the Lord is causing to plague the earth, to plague Babylon the Great specifically, man. You know? Matthew 24 and 12 again, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's exactly what you've seen, you know, especially with these different mass shootings, man. All right, Jake don't give a damn, especially these younger Israelites. They don't give a damn about nothing or nobody, not even their own selves, man. And that's a product of rulership and curses, man, that have befallen our people. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 14. It says, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. All right, and the Lord has mingled a very perverse spirit here in America, Babylon the Great. That spirit of contention, of woe, of evil, of sedition, you know, of discord, of chaos, of mania. The Lord has truly mixed a very perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt, which is causing them to err in all the works thereof. Let me see what it says in the NLT. Isaiah 19 and verse 14. The Lord has sent a spirit of foolishness on them. So all their suggestions are wrong. They cause Egypt to stagger like a drunk in his vomit. There is nothing Egypt can do. All are helpless. the head and the tail, the noble palm branch and the lowly reed. And that is what it is. All right, that's exactly what it is. All right, there is nothing Egypt can do. All are helpless. All right, because the Lord said in 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter that he will smite Egypt with plagues as before. And America is the modern day Egypt. All right, Egypt was characterized or symbolized, was a symbol of the Israelites' bondage. It says that in Exodus the 20th chapter, man. And America is predominantly the place of bondage for you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. This is modern day Egypt, along with the gods that are worshipped here, the different traditions that are upheld here. All right, a lot of them come from Egypt. And the Lord is smiting Egypt with plagues as he did before. And madness was one of them. When that darkness came upon the people, all right, they were stricken with madness. They were seeing apparitions, they were bugging the fuck out. And right now, the Lord is causing that spirit of madness to be placed on these people in broad daylight. In broad fucking daylight. It says there's nothing Egypt can do. All are helpless. And there's nothing that they can do because this is the will of the Lord. All right, this is the purpose of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right, we're coming into that due time pursuing Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, the 10th chapter, where the Lord is starting to set over the earth one that is profitable, which is Yahweh Shai. All right, and the Lord is beginning that by uplifting that standard with his men. But as you've seen, if as you know by now, probably, in Dallas they had a mass shooting, which was a Jake. It was an Israelite, a so-called Negro. Says Wilmer Hutchins high school shooting appears to be targeted attack. A 17-year-old suspect. And these are 17-year-olds. These are young Jakes that haven't fully experienced anything yet. But at the same token, they realize spiritually there is nothing to experience here in America, Babylon the Great. They might as well crash out, right? This is the Jake. Oh, simple as hell. And then you had this one that happened here in Florida at FSU with this Edomite. Let me see if I can get his picture. Yeah. The usual suspect. His mother was a deputy sheriff, I believe. He used her weapon. As this came out, he used her service or so-called service weapon, which I guess she bought and possessed or owned, and he got possession of it and used it. But nevertheless, it's judgment from Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, all right, as a showcase of the times that we're in. All right, and seeing all these things, man, like it says in 2nd Ezra the 16th chapter, these scourges are sent for people, for those who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, to amend their ways. The scriptures tell you in our Sirach, the 5th chapter, to make no tearing to turn to the Lord. Because the day of the Lord is going to come suddenly, at a sudden. More judgments are going to continue to happen in the earth. And these are the things that the Lord has given us to jump on. The Lord has given us a spirit to prepare ourselves for these times, to become even more chaotic than they already are. And to know that through this chaos, we have hope. We have a lively hope. Through the midst of all this chaos and all of this insanity that's going on in the planet. In the midst of mania, we have a lively hope. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Right. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. Ye are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. All right, and now is more time than ever to be on our watch. watching for the different signs that the Lord has given us, all right, to signal his second return. All right, because we have a measuring stick. The Lord gave us prophecy to measure the times. All right, and the Lord is constantly sending those signs to let us know he's closer. He's getting closer. All right, and this manic society that we live in is a sign that the Lord is getting closer. But with that being said, that's all I had. Lord, witness edifying unto you elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom. Stay up.